Hey everyone, thanks again for tuning in to Cin's Workshop here on YouTube. Hope you're all having a wonderful day. I'm joined by my lovely daughter today. All she wants right now is to be held. You're really cute. She's like out like a rock. But anyway, today we're going to be talking about Rogue Princess by B.R. Myers, published by Swoon Reads. I have to say, really was pleasantly surprised by this novel. It is a gender swapped retelling of Cinderella, and you know what? I was really impressed with it. Right from the beginning, I immediately felt like, oh yeah, this is definitely going to be an entertaining read. You have Princess Delia. She's getting fitted for a dress by her robotic seamstress, and it starts glitching out. We quickly find out she programmed the glitches into the android so that she could slip away and run away from the palace, because she's not thrilled with the idea that she has to marry some dude she doesn't know. I mean, she's resigned to the fact, she's accepted it as much as I think she's going to accept it, but oh, much better. Sorry. The lighting was just, ugh. She is resigned to it as much as possible because, she wants to do what's best for her kingdom. Unfortunately, that does mean she is going to marry someone she doesn't love. And she's not entirely thrilled with that. So, what she wants to do is try to negotiate. She wants to see if she can figure out a different way to get the energy her planet needs. So she is trying to run away. Little does she know, Aiden, who works in the kitchen of the palace, is on her ship planning to run away as well from his wicked stepbrothers and stepfather. So their entire meeting is just, the ship is the glass slipper. And I thought that it was really fun, especially because they just start instantly bantering. She's like, "You're not coming with me." He's like, "I'm coming with you." She's like, "No, I'm dropping you off here." She tries to drop him off, and then pirates. And I love how she's just like, "What's happening?" He's like, "Well, they're pirates." She's like, "No, piracy's ally." He's like, "Well, no, I told them." And I love that it's a line you've heard before, but it doesn't sound cliche at all. It just fits within a narrative, and it fits within who these characters are. And I think that that's 100% engaging for me as a reader, to just kind of be in that zone where I'm just like, I'm reading a line and it makes me want to laugh, because on the one hand, is it a cliche overused line? Yes, but it doesn't feel that way at all. It's smooth. It fits within their banter and their narrative. And I think it was executed so well. So right from the beginning, I'm immediately engaged. I'm immediately interested in the story, and I loved reading it. Ultimately, it was fun. It was fun. I do love the character development, especially with regards to Princess Delia. And the reason being is, so they have their own mythology. Their hair means a lot. I mean, if you look at the cover of the book, she has a very long braid. And I will say this, I'm really glad as well that our main character is a person of color as well. Even as she's written, her dark skin, you don't know how dark is her skin. You just know she has dark skin and he has white skin. So, right from the beginning that this is sort of an interracial couple, and our main protagonist, our princess, is a person of color. And I thought that was really, really fun as well. And it was engaging. And I love Delia because she's smart, she's clever, she is quick. As a, you know, she's, what's the phrase, quick as a whip? She's thoughtful as well. And her braid, it stems from the mythology, you know, connected to the moon of their kingdom, because really their planet is the center of their galaxy, but they're having a lot of, you know, they're having an energy crisis, which is why she has to get married. But the way that the mythology is interpreted in the story, it gives Delia pause, and it makes her really think about the science of, well, the tale, honestly. Mythology does have a tendency to be, it has a connection, you know, a grain of salt, right? A grain of truth to every tale. So I think it was really fun. And to see her develop and to see her really analyze everything and to see her grow. And I love her sister dynamic as well. See, this is why I like doing these YouTube reviews, because there's so much I want to say in my written reviews that I never get to say it because I feel like I'm just like, I can't, you know, I want this review to be very concise as possible. And my mind, even when I handwrite things first, my mind just goes and here I can actually talk about it. The sister dynamics are really well done. I didn't really get to talk about that in my other reviews. I loved her sister. You know, they balance each other out, and that goes, the same can be said, rather, for all the other characters. The character dynamics balance each other out. They are engaging. They do bounce off of each other. Immediately, you get that from the beginning, from Aiden and Delia's first interaction, as well as her and her sister. You really think, oh, Delia's sister is kind of flighty, kind of shallow. She's a romantic. She does judge these princes by their looks, but again, she's not really giving a lot of room to, you know, get to know them. She's just like, oh, you should pick him because look at those abs. You know, she's fun, whereas her sister is more serious. And I like the balance because you also are seeing this kinder, softer side of her sister as well, and it brings out a kinder, softer side for Delia as well. Her sister is probably, her little sister is probably her fiercest cheerleader. She encourages her to just break out of the norm, and just be friends with pirates. In fact, there is a scene where Delia and Aiden are with the pirates, and it's so reminiscent of a scene of, have you seen Stardust the movie? I hope you've seen Stardust the movie. If you haven't, please watch, with Charlie Cox and Claire Danes. Please watch it. It's great. I love it. And Michelle Pfeiffer, Robert De Niro. It's an amazing movie. Highly recommend. There's a scene when they're on the airship with the pirates, and I just got like a whiplash deja vu moment. I'm like, oh my god. This scene of Delia and Aiden on the pirate ship is so reminiscent. And I love that how Delia bonds with the pirates and how Aiden bonds with the pirates. And they're just best friends by the end of the novel, and they help her destroy a coup. It's fun. That's what I'm getting at. The novel's fun. It's engaging. It's entertaining. There are some jaw-dropping moments that I did not see coming, which, again, I like that. I've said this before, I'll say it again. I love it when an author catches me off guard. When I'm so lost in the story that I don't see something coming. Because it makes sense. It fits within the narrative, but it's unpredictable. I didn't see that coming. That twist with Aiden, I was just like, what in the... What? I was just like, oh, and then by the end I was just like, no. But of course there is a happily ever after, and I do enjoy a nice happily ever after. So I'm a little girly that way. But it was a fun story. I really did enjoy it. I have to give it 4 out of 5 stars as far as retellings go. It's different, it is unique. It is entertaining, engaging from beginning to end. It has really good pacing, good characterization, good character dynamics, and a very thoughtful evolution of the plot. So it makes sense. As you're reading the story, as I go back and thinking of it, I'm like, it makes sense. It flows. It's fluid. And I like stories like that where they just move at a very good pace, but also makes sense. A story doesn't have to be predictable in order for it to make sense. And sometimes I hate when authors kind of like throw in shockers for the sake of just throwing in a shocker, and it doesn't make sense to the overall progression of the plot. I'm like, why'd you do that? Doesn't fit the characters, doesn't fit the narrative. But here everything does flow. It makes sense. It's cohesive. It's well balanced. It's funny. It's serious. It has its own mythology. I mean, I didn't really dislike anything about the book. So once again, 4 to 5 stars. Highly recommend Rogue Princess. If you're going to purchase the book, please remember to purchase the book from your local bookseller or online book retailer. I just ask that you get the book off of somewhere other than Amazon. There are so many other resources out there. If you want to shop small, you can check out bookshop.org and indiebound.org. They will give you lists of independently owned bookstores nearest to your location. Bookshop.org will actually, if you know your independently owned is just too far, like 14 miles or something, you can purchase off of bookshop.org and it will donate a percentage of that sale to the closest bookstore nearest to you, or one of your choosing, because you can select like, oh, this is the independently owned bookstore I want my money to go to. And that's what bookshop.org does. Let's see. Please don't forget Barnes & Noble and Books A Million. Support your bookstores, whether they're chain owned or independently owned. All I ask is that you support your bookstores, please. There's nothing that beats walking into a bookstore, just getting a whiff of that book smell and then browsing the shelves and discovering your next read. I mean, there's so many books I don't hear about, and I'm walking, like Paula Braxton books. Those are fiction, and I usually just stay within young adult, but I sometimes, I work at a bookstore, so I'm browsing. I need to read all her books now. They all look amazing. I'm like, why have I never heard of this before? What, do I live under a rock? But that's what makes bookstores so amazing. You know, the fact that you can go through them, you can browse through them, and you're discovering so many new and fascinating things. So support your bookstores, please. On that note, I hope you all will continue to support me by liking this video, subscribing to my channel, and sharing it with our book-loving friends. You can also become a supporter on buymeacoffee.com or by purchasing one of my handmade candles. I hope you all have a great rest of your day, and as always, happy reading.